Welcome to the Networking with Michelle podcast, the show dedicated to providing you with life strategies with a little bit of entrepreneur advice. Here we believe in the Jim Rohn quote, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Hey everyone, welcome to the Networking with Michelle show. I'm your host, Michelle Gourmet. Do want to let you know today's episode is brought to you by Drag, a Chrome extension that transforms your Gmail into Trello-like list. So if you're a fan of Trello, you're probably going to love this when it comes to your email. You can start a free 14-day trial with the referral code Michelle Gourmet. Once again, Michelle Gourmet to start your free trial with Drag. Hey, if you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit under the weather, so my voice, I'm trying not to lose it. So I do want to give you that bit of notice as we jump into today's interview with Khaliah Guillory. Look, this is a real dope interview. I think this is a great interview to start your 2018 off right. Very excited about this friendship that I've developed with her over the past couple of months. And I believe in this interview that you'll grow to love her, the movement that she is creating, Unleash Your Dopeness. And we talk about so many things. And this is just a great interview to start off 2018. So here we go. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Networking with Michelle show. It's good to be back. Have special guests. I like to call a new friend for 2017, opening up 2018.
Come on.
KG, the productivity expert, lover of humanity, and philanthropist. How are you doing today?
Excellent. I'm honored to be on the show. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So there's so much I want to talk to you about.
Yes.
All right. Been admiring your work probably for the past 6 to 9 months.
Appreciate
Thank you for allowing me to be on Startup Masters in the summer. And so here you are now.
Here I am.
All right. So tell the people what you do, your background. Let's get comfortable.
Let's do it. So Khaliah Guillory here, also known as KG. I am the curator of dopeness. And what that means is that I am on a quest to indirectly and directly impact 7 billion people on the planet. Like that's, if you run the numbers, that's everybody. And the reason why I want to do that is because I truly believe that everybody is born dope. You know, that things happen to us. We're taught some things and we learn some things in this journey through life that prevents us to allow our dopeness to be unleashed. But that's the reason why I say unleash your dopeness, because it's already there. We just got to remove these manufactured labels that's hindering us from like sharing that dopeness with the whole world. So that's the dopeness movement. I also am a creator of I Am You, Dimensions of Diversity, a 3-part docuseries. It's a community-based passion project that really, truly is going to change and revolutionize the way that we have the understanding to have courageous conversations. You know, I always say Hurricane Harvey for us here in Houston, it opened the door for these conversations. Our beloved Astros, go Stros, they gave us hope. And
Absolutely.
I Am You is going to give us the courage to continue to lean into these uncomfortable conversations and really, truly unite our community more so than it has been ever in years.
Yeah.
Excited about that.
All right. So when did you discover your dopeness?
Gosh, I would say that probably was like 2008. Right? Okay. Like when you think about it, it wasn't really that long ago. Yeah. And the reason why I discovered it is because I've also dubbed myself as a corpreneur. So what that means is that I still operate from the C-suite in corporate America. I work for a Fortune 500 company, and I help basically small business customers improve their cash flow. But the side hustle, which is the KLG and company, is the passion. But while I was in corporate America, I will say what was, because I'm still am, but I was checking my diversity dimensions at the door. And one in particular is sexual orientation. Because I had told myself way back when that there's no way you're going to be able to dominate a white male industry as a Black woman that just so happens to be a lesbian. I already convinced myself of that. And so what I did is I played the pronoun game. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Pronoun name. Like, how was your weekend? Oh, it was fine. Well, what did y'all do? Oh, we went here and we went there. It was always we, they. It was never she. Yeah. And so one day I got promoted and my manager came into my office and was like, hey, I really think you should represent us on the diversity council for the bank. And I'm like, I'm all for it. It's like right up my alley, right? Still in the closet.
Yeah.
But I still was like, oh, they're not going to, it never crossed my mind that I would need to be quote unquote out to be able to really truly organically contribute to the council. And so I said, all right, cool. So the HR person sent me the application and I was perusing through it, filling it out like, oh, this is going to be great. And then they asked for my sexual orientation. And I was like, whoa, hold on a second. Why do you need this? Picked up the phone, called the HR rep and was like, yo, I'm filling out this application and I'm not sure why you need to know my sexual orientation. In hindsight, if I go back, she probably was like, if your little gay butt don't just check the box and be done with this, like if you're making a big deal about checking the box, clearly you need to check the box. And the funny thing is, like, everybody I work with, they already knew, right? It's kind of like my family. When I finally told them, they was like, okay, we were just waiting on you to tell us kind of thing. And so and she was like, well, you know, this is the exact reason why we want you to be on the board is because on the council is because we have so many team members who are probably just like you, afraid to really, truly bring their whole self to work. And I was like, yeah, lady, whatever, but this is going to impact my ability to get promoted. Like I had huge dreams and aspirations to climb that corporate ladder as fast and quickly as possible. Hung up the phone. I didn't believe her. So I called my tribe, my oldest sister. And I was like, this is what they want me to do. I don't think I need to do this because I'll never be promoted ever again. Because I was on the fast track.
Yeah.
She was like, listen, if they're not going to see your value just because of your sexual orientation, then you don't need to work there anymore. Oh, okay. All right. So it's kind of like unsure, but I hung up the phone and I checked the box, the appropriate box, and I hit submit. And I'm thinking I'm going to be meeting once a month with these executives and senior VPs and people who I'm aspiring to take their jobs one day. And they're going to it's going to be really awkward. Well, my first meeting, I walked in and then they do this like huge circle where they want you to identify your where you associate yourself. So they had all the Black people come into the circle and then all the women came into the circle. And then we get to sexual orientation. If you're gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, trans, whatever. And I walked into the circle and everybody started clapping. I was like, and then one of my homeboys who was an out man, like he truly taught me like you really can bring your whole self to work. Yeah. He was like, yes, honey, in the back. Like, it's about time, honey. Like, mind you, we're at work, like in front of amidst all these famous bigwigs. So at that point forward, I was like, there was no reason for me to do this. And I also was an inspiration to others. So like the very next day I came out to my team. And because I was really, truly not just bringing my whole self to work, but bringing my whole self everywhere, my performance productivity improved. Oh, wow. Not just for me, but for my team, because I was able to have authentic, organic relationships with them. You know, what do you do for the weekend? Oh, she and I went to da-da-da-da-da. It wasn't weird because before I would stay away from those type. I didn't want to connect in that way personally because I was afraid what you were going to ask me and I didn't want to have to lie. Right.
Wow. So 2008. So
roughly. Around.
So how has that shaped your career over the past... what year was it? 10 years? Almost 10 years?
Yeah, almost 10. Almost 10. It's because everything is aligned now. Like I'm in perfect alignment. I'm in the sweet spot, as I like to call it. Is the same Khaliah you would see at work. It's the same Khaliah you'll see on the Michelle and Gomez podcast. It's the same person you'll see on the basketball court. You know, I live to break down the whole idea of bringing your whole self to work because I feel like as a community, as humanity, we need to bring our whole selves everywhere, not just to work. Like we shouldn't have to feel some sort of way about checking a diversity dimension that we might be ashamed of at the door before we walk into the school, into the place of employment, into an interview that we're about to do. Like we should embrace that uniqueness because that's really what makes us dope.
Yeah. All right. So now you stated that once that happened, your performance at work increased, and you call yourself the performance productivity expert.
Yes.
So how do you help your clients?
So my clients come to me for one, with performance productivity, and it's untraditional. And when I say untraditional, what they've done in the past is they'll hire a speaker to come in and talk about, hey, look at this chart, XYZ. If you do XYZ, if you do 1, 2, 3, then your performance productivity will hit the roof. If you cut this expense, your performance productivity is going to improve. Well, I don't know how you're not giving people what they require every single day to do their job. It's going to help them improve in their performance productivity. My approach is flip it. It's a 180-degree difference. It's really, truly helping the team members realize where they have these manufactured labels on them. And once they remove these manufactured labels, then their performance productivity is gonna improve. I use myself as the litmus test. If you are ashamed, in my closet was sexual orientation. Some team members' closet could be socioeconomic. They don't want anyone to know where they came from.
That's a good point.
No one, you're from Port Arthur, Texas? That's like the most impoverished town in Texas. Like, I don't want anyone to know that, because I feel like that's going to hinder me from being able to move forward. Or I don't want anyone to know I'm Muslim. I don't want anyone to know that I'm a vet, because they might fear that I have PTSD and might come in here and, whatever. So it's a matter of really truly helping the employer identify a really different method and approach to get them to remove these manufactured labels. And we do that through talks. We do that through workshops. We do that through podcasts. We do that through whatever it takes possible so that they can identify these lens or these manufactured labels and give them tools to remove them so that they can achieve more performance and the employer, as a result, more attrition, or better attrition, I should say. No one's staying there. Engagement is far more improved. And we measure all this. So it's not like, I'm saying cut this, cut that. I'm just saying you need to love on your people more.
That's true. I think, have you noticed, I guess it's so many things, right? Because sometimes there's a lot of emphasis on company culture, right? And then sometimes different industries have a stereotype.
Yep.
Right? And then it's so common to say every industry, it's a male-dominated industry, or it's a white male-dominated industry. Like, what are some tips to break through industry as well as company culture?
Oh, that's a good question. I think for everyone is to show up as who they are. Because what happens is when we show up, when we send our representative, the person who's afraid to share their diversity dimensions, that's when you start to be just like everybody else. Yeah. You are just like the 10 other applicants that are showing up. You're just like the 20 other people who are coming to the meeting. But when you show up as really who you are, and you're able to and tap into that diverse thought, because when I say diverse thought, I mean your socioeconomic background will help solve a problem for perhaps the target audience. And if you're the only person in a room that can relate to someone who had a single parent, who, maybe was on assistance or whatever the case might be, or grew up Catholic, as an altar girl, I experienced all that. And so I was able to identify with certain niche in our community that people around the table didn't have. But had I was sitting there being quiet, I wouldn't have been able to help solve that problem. And that's how you level set yourself. That's how you level up, so you can get people to quickly realize I'm the value asset here. It's me being who I really am and not pretending and putting on for the other person.
I love it. Earlier in 2017, I interviewed J. Kelly Hoey. She's an author of Build Your Dream Network. And in that interview, I learned that diversity, it's like you know it, but you don't know it. It's like diversity goes beyond skin color.
It does.
Right. And usually when we say we're going to, we want like-minded friends or whatever, we're looking at skin color, education, and maybe job, right? School/job. And she's like, it's so much more than that.
Oh, it's a plethora.
And I've been, like, ever since that interview, I've been so conscious about, like, okay, Michelle, what does diversity mean to you? Yeah. And how are you going to go deeper than just, just
skin?
Yeah, just skin color.
Because that's when you really scratch the surface of diverse thoughts, right? Because if I'm just in skin color, but everybody grew up the same way I did, well, then I don't really have tribal diversity. I don't have anyone that's going to challenge my thought because they've done it. Yeah. And that's really it. It's someone who's going to challenge your thought, and they can be a sounding board to say, hey, no, that's not the way you probably need to be going about this because that's offensive. Or, hey, have you considered doing it this way?
But even when you challenge that thought, me as a person being okay with someone else,
you have to be okay with it. That takes time and it takes growth too, because then you have to really truly identify: do I really want to have diverse people around me? Because if you can't receive the feedback, because first of all, feedback is a gift.
Yeah,
it's up to us if we unwrap it or not.
Okay.
So if we choose not to unwrap it, well, then you really truly don't want the feedback. It's like I have a friend that always asks me for feedback, and then I share my feedback, and she's like, "Well, no, but this is the reason why." And I'm like, "Well, why did you even ask me?"
That's what I want to hear right now.
Right. So why did you even ask me? So, but I know she's just not ready.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready, don't even waste your time. Don't ask until you're ready, and it's okay. Either way is okay. Because I know you and I spoke about this earlier. It was just not being attached to outcomes.
Yeah.
And if you're not attached to a specific outcome, then you're ready to receive all the feedback there is in the world. Because you trust the universe is conspiring on your behalf to send the right people to help you identify blind spots, to help you avoid the valley. Nobody want to be in the valley, right?
All right, alchemist, I see you.
It's a little salt.
Yeah. God, that's interesting because when you're saying diverse thoughts, and I don't want to get too much into politics, but obviously the political climate right now across the nation is shaky. And then, I'm thinking about my Facebook friends, right? I don't know how many people I know on there. At one point, I was like, I know everyone, and now I don't. But I'm just like, okay.
Come on, growth.
But I'm like, are my Facebook friends like-minded people, or which they need to think and post as I do? Or am I open enough to allow them to, obviously they're going to share their diverse thought, but am I grown enough to receive it?
Right.
Because, some people hide.
Well, we got a lot of ninjas out there, right? Some black screen ninjas, but they won't say what they need to say in public. And that kind of goes back to why I created this documentary, is so that we can have enough courage to have a conversation face to face. But I think going back to your point is, do I have enough? Am I grown enough to receive it? I think that's where we get caught up. It's like we're at the crux of, I have to receive it or not. And honestly, we don't have to do anything with it.
Yeah.
We can just let it be. Like, we don't have to receive it or not. Like, we can just let it be. No one said you had to take action on it.
That's true. All right. So your docuseries.
Yes.
All right. Now, I kind of feel like there's a correlation with you being a performance productivity expert. So I guess going through clients' speaking engagements, did you catch a trend and then decided to create the docuseries? I
created the docuseries on the premise that I would say 90% of the people in the docuseries, I knew about their story as it relates to diversity well beyond this idea even popped up.
Okay.
And it resonated with me and impacted me so much that it sat with me. Like some of these stories I've known for 2+ years. Some of them I just recently learned about. And the idea, the niche of the project is that we're forcing you to have a human to human connection, because unlike any other documentaries on diversity out there, these are real life people talking about real life stories. And it's a multitude of the diversity will. So we've got a lady on there for the very first time, had the courage, and she was brave enough. Shout out to Catherine, to share her story as it relates to sexual harassment. Most people don't know it, but back in the 80s, they diagnosed women who were sexually harassed as having PTSD.
Wow.
Well, since they've come out with military sexual trauma, which is exactly what it was. And most people don't even realize that. And then we have Eddie, who talks about how his relationships changed. He was born here. He's a native. His family is native Pakistanians. But as soon as 9/11 hit, his relationship shifted based on the fact that he's Muslim and he's a practicing Muslim. But the reason why this all came about, I created it, is because I was discriminated against because of how I look and who I am. I went into a salon, received a gift card for my birthday, and I'm ready. A spa salon. I'm going to redeem my gift card. I'm ready. I'm going to get some R&R. I'm going to get some relaxation. And it's one of these frou-frou salons, right? Spa salons. And I'm like, okay, I'm good with it. It's cool. Like, they serving champagne, and their options on the menu is you can have rose infused soaks. You can have ginger hand warms. I'm like, I'm basic. Just give me a buff shiny on my nail, buff shiny on my feet. Just give me the normal soak. Just put something in there to make it smell good. But I don't need all the fruit. So I noticed on the back of the menu, they had like a men's section. And in the men's section is exactly what I wanted. It was a buff shiny and it was a soak, and then they have roses and strawberries and cucumbers in the water. And the technician, who was another Black woman, when she asked me what I wanted, I said, I want this, and pointed on the menu to the section. She said, you can't get that because that's for men only. But come again? So wait, let me make sure I understand this. I am here for a service and you're denying me of a service because it says on the menu it's for men. I mean, shouldn't I be able to get whatever I want on the menu?
Right.
Excuse me. So when to experience that, I left there pissed off. Like, I had to call the owner and say, I'm calling the news if you don't get this right. She needs more training. Because if it happens to me, it can happen to somebody else.
And it probably already has.
It has. And no one said anything about it. And, I could be honest about this too. I mean, so many things in my life that have happened where it hasn't been, it doesn't happen consistently, but when it happens, it's massive enough for me to stop and think, I need to do something. I need to be a change agent for reform because this just isn't right. We live in the most diverse city in America. You can't deny me of a service if I want a basic service just because I'm not a man. Like, stop it. Why do you have and I asked the owner, why do you have sections for men and women? Why not just have services?
That's too much like right.
You know what I mean?
Too much like right.
Like, it just should be inclusive. And I mean, recently, 2 weeks ago, my wife and I discriminated some unfortunate discrimination. It was going through family planning, and our application was denied for fertility because we were told that I have to attempt to get pregnant the natural way. And so I asked, well, define what the natural way is? And she said, the natural way. And I said, so basically I need to have sex with a man? And she said, yes. I said, well, let me remind you, the name on my file where it says spouse, wife, is Khaliah Guillory. She's a woman. So you're basically telling me I have to cheat on my wife with a man in order for me to go through this process as it is. And I said, that's discrimination. That's reform. I had to make the big stink for people to finally realize, oh, hey, she's probably right. So just that type of stuff. Yeah, process it, man. Process it. I wasn't as cool and calm about it when it happened, but
it's 2017.
And you would think we have come a long way, but this particular situation and some of the things that these people experience in this documentary, we really haven't come that far. Like, we have so much more runway ahead of us to go and change and reform. And like, come on, lady, like there should be a clause for same-sex couples. If we were two men, you would tell me that one of us would have to go sleep with a woman because it's natural. I mean, I get it if we were in a heterosexual relationship, but we're not. Yeah.
We're about to start a whole
Yeah, invite me back. We can talk about that on another day for sure.
Oh my gosh. You ever thought about law school?
No, man. When I graduated from school, I was like, peace. You won't see me again. But it's funny because, like, I get that every once in a while. Like, people are like, why would you?
I know. Right.
I don't know what characteristics y'all see that would warrant me to be an attorney, but I probably would be held in contempt all the time.
Well, I think the beautiful thing with the internet and social media is that you are able to advocate and create your own platform without some of the formal education and the formal jobs, versus at least when we were growing up. Right. There's no way we could have predicted this. You thought if you wanted to be a change agent or fight for reform, it's like, okay, I need to get this specific type of degree, and I need to work for this type of company or nonprofit or whatever, fighting these type of cases. And now, we're in such a great time in our life where we can just share our message and we can advocate for not just one thing, but so many things. Whether it's Houston Strong for Harvard Relief or for LGBTQ rights, etc. Whatever that diversity,
whatever it is,
may look like. Let's see. You got so much. You got nonprofits. How many nonprofits you have?
Just one. Are you sure? That's it.
I see a lot of fundraising and organizations.
It's just for that one. That's the only one I got. I promise. I can't take on anything else. The plate is already runneth over.
So you have ALS.
Yep. So the nonprofit is a namesake to honor my mother's legacy. Right. It's the Cynthia A. Guillory Foundation. Okay. So my mother lost the fight against ALS in 2002. Most people know it as the Ice Bucket Challenge, but it's also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and the formal name is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And basically, simply put, you lose all functions of your muscle functions, and your brain is still ticking. You're not depleting. Your brain isn't depleting with your body. You're still sharp. You're still sound. You still are as if you are walking around the world and doing your thing. And you lose the ability to speak, to talk, to swallow, to walk. Everything that you and I did this morning, someone who's been diagnosed with ALS, they can't do it any longer. And I call it the world's cruelest disease, because the patient as well as the caregivers are literally sitting by watching their loved one slip away. And it's typically it's 2 years is the life expectancy from the moment you're diagnosed. So I founded the foundation because for two reasons. Back then, no one knew what ALS was. People would ask me, well, how did your mother pass away? And I said, it was ALS. Well, what's that? And I got tired of having to explain every single time what it was. So we founded the foundation as one of the missions is to spread ALS awareness and to also, pay homage to my mother's legacy through the gift of giving. That's where I learned how to be a philanthropist, is really through my mom in Port Arthur, Texas, right? We, every year around this time of the year, our small mall, Central Mall, they would have this huge, massive Christmas tree. And it would have these big ornaments on it, but it'll have writing. Like you can go up and grab something off the ornament. And I remember one day I was probably 8 or 10. And I asked my mom, what's up with why they have names on the ornaments? And she was like, it's because those are people in our community that need help for the holidays. They, they've fallen on hard times or whatever the case might be, and they need some support. And she's like, matter of fact, she told my sister and I, you go and pick out an ornament that you're going to sponsor a family, and then you do the same. And that just became family tradition. And so every year we did that. And even when she passed away, my sister has her own tradition. Through the foundation, we still do our tradition. And we're embarking on our 6th annual toy drive this Saturday. Actually. And this one is more near and dear to my heart, because we're exclusively supporting the folks down in Port Arthur, because as we know, the Hurricane Harvey went and devastated that area as well. And they don't really have a lot of the resources that we have here in Houston. So we're going down on Saturday, and we're going to bless a lot of families and help them and provide Christmas to them. Good. Thank you.
Good. I would like to think your mom's been the most influential person in your life.
Totally.
Right? Who else has been influential in your life?
I believe that we can learn from people that we know, people who are no longer with us, people who have no idea who we are. When I think of influential people, I think of Gary Vee. I think of Lisa Nichols. I think of, my mother. I think of my grandfather who taught me, who instilled so much in me at a young, early age. It's crazy, because now I can tap into those lessons and understand why behind it. I played basketball in high school, and I remember in the summertime, junior year, he came in the house. It was 7:00 in the morning, got me out of bed and was like, you do realize you're trying to get a scholarship, right? And I was like, yeah, but it's the summer.
Trying to sleep.
Right. What's going on? Why are you here? Banging on the door like the popos. And he was like, the girl down the street, she's already at the gym shooting free throws. And you laying in the bed asleep. You gonna let her take it from you? So I learned the epitome of hustle and like not letting the next person out hustle me. If I get beat, I'm gonna get beat. Yeah. But I ain't gonna get beat because you out hustle me. And I learned that that's a foundation that I will forever remember and stand on because, you know, it came from my grandpa. And I will never forget that 7 a.m. in the morning on a warm Saturday it was Saturday morning in the summertime.
That discipline.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. How have those lessons translated into entrepreneurship?
Listen, entrepreneurship isn't for punks. Let's be clear. Right. Like if you really, I think people get caught up thinking that entrepreneurship, they get into it for the wrong reasons. They get into it because they want to be millionaires. Like that's a byproduct. That will happen if you do it the right way. But you really should get into it because here's a problem and here's the solution to it. Your product is the solution. And those lessons that have translated help me identify my why. Because I practice this equation. It's why plus what to the power of B, which is the power of because, like, why am I doing this? Okay. Will equal to and translate into any and everything I want to manifest. All right. So my why is you and the other 7 billion people on the planet that I want to impact. And my what is the Unleash Your Dopeness tour. That's how I plan to do it. Indirectly and directly. The power of B, the because, is because my mom sacrificed way too much for me to play small. Like I owe her her legacy to be able to go as hard every single day as I possibly can. So on days where I don't want to get out of the bed, when it's raining and it's cold outside, and I'm like, I don't want to be an adult today. I just got to remember, because we all had them days, right? Is that she did that. Like my mom worked for the same refinery for 33 years and never called in sick. So, I mean, come on, KG, like what you doing? And I feel when I'm in full alignment with my why plus my what and my B, the power of B, then that will equate to money. It will equate to success. It'll equate to fulfillment, to freedom. It'll equate to anything that I'm desiring to achieve in that moment because it changes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Can women have it all?
Absolutely. I believe that. And I think sometimes it might not be all in the same time. Like I might not have it all today, but I might be able to have it all tomorrow, depending on what I did today.
That's true.
Yeah. Because I mean, for me, my philosophy is how do I keep all, as you mentioned, I got a lot going on. How do I keep all my balls in the air? And my philosophy is I just can't let the same ball drop consecutively day after day. Yeah. So if I drop the KOG and Company ball today, I can't drop it tomorrow. If I'm going to drop a ball, it's going to have to be maybe a nonprofit or, you know, somewhere else in my area of my life.
That's real. So what does the pursuit of greatness look like for KG?
Man, it's being able to, if I close my eyes and envision my dream, it's running all of my companies from a luxury front property somewhere off a hut in Bora Bora. Kids running around. My wife is on a conference call to her business here back in the States because, you know, she's getting ready for her 12-day holiday giveaway and getting ready for the packaging and the shipping of all that. And just being able to have it all, you know, like literally it's not, I'm not stressed about anything. Like I really adopted to the fact that I have no attachment to any of the outcomes in my life. As long as I continue to do everything legally, morally, ethically, then I got to trust that the universe is going to conspire, man. Like it's really, truly like I have the power to manifest any and everything that I want. And my thoughts are powerful. So if I'm thinking it's not going to go well, it probably won't go well. If I wake up on a cloudy day and it's raining, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a crappy day. It probably will be a crappy day. But I could be like, you know what? It might be raining and cold outside, but it's going to be so sunny in my heart and my soul. I'm about to give this day to business. You know, sometimes we got to give ourselves that pep talk.
Got to make the most of every opportunity. Because
it's moment by moment.
Like every day when I pray, I'm like, Lord, I thank you for a good night's rest. I thank you for allowing me to see today. Yeah. Because even though I'm in bed for those 6 to 8 hours, like so much can happen. And
wait, you getting 6 to 8? How you getting 6 to 8?
Oh, girl, go to bed at 11.
Oh man!
I usually wake up by 5:30, but I don't get out of bed until like today. I didn't get out of bed until 8.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Okay, I'm like, are you up, Adam? Like, man.
No,
okay, all right. Yeah, right.
No, but I'm so grateful because even in that 6 to 8 hours of sleep, so much happens, and we see it on the news, we hear it on TV,
right?
And that's the first. Thank you for a good night's rest.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for allowing me to see this day.
Totally,
I commit this day into your hands, etc., etc.
I love that. I commit this day into your hands because that's really it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not up to us. He already knows what the day is going to look like. You know, he's probably, because I feel like God, like I like to play games with him. Like, oh, I'm going to show you today. Like, whatever you going to throw my way, I'm going to pass my test with flying colors. And if something less than favorable happens, I'm like, ooh, I'm about to pass this test. Ooh. You know, because for me, it helps me not get bogged down into the like, oh God, this again.
And some people are that way.
Yes.
All right, so we talked corporate,
yes,
nonprofit,
yes, only one,
docuseries,
yes,
podcaster,
yes,
startup masters.
Here we go.
I love it. I've been on the show. Just
a dope show, by the way.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, for real.
You know, I think it's pretty much what you said. I feel like I don't have to be a guest, you know? So I try to go in treating every interview like it's the last interview. Yeah. And just inspiring one person.
That's it.
Because I guess with you on your dopeness, it's like I'm trying to change people's perspective on networking.
Yeah.
You know? So thank you.
That's the same thing. The same concept, right? Yeah. It's just different layers to it. Yeah. Absolutely.
But, I mean, if they're listening to my show, they should be listening to your show.
For sure. So come listen. Come listen.
So Startup Masters co-hosted with Gary Lee.
Yep.
So just tell the people about it.
So G and I came up with this concept. Well, first and foremost, the Sphere Network is the network, the platform that houses Startup Master and a host of different shows. And the niche is that Gary Lee, bless his heart, got so tired of turning on the news and seeing people that look like him being portrayed a certain way. And, you know, he and I were having a conversation one day and he was like, this is crazy because I don't know anyone like they're portraying on TV. I know doctors, I know VPs of banks, I know other podcasters, I know lawyers, I know these professional people in investment banking. I need to change the narrative. I want to take control of the narrative. So he created the Sphere Network, invited people that he knew would be able to be influencers on the platform. And so the show that he and I share together is Startup Masters. And the idea is to invite fellow Startup Masters who look like us on the show, who have gone through the journey of the peaks and the valleys of entrepreneurship and share the journey with our viewers. Because the idea is that as a community, as a culture, there's no reason for you not to learn from our mistakes. Right. Like if you woke, like if you really woke, if I'm telling you, nah, like you don't want to go that route. If you turn left, you're going to skin up your knee to the white meat. You don't want to do that. And here's the reasons why. Hey, the common denominator on our show every single time is people talk about being out marketing more, you know, utilizing the culture more, utilizing the community more, like telling people what you're up to and what you're doing because we want to help you. That's true. So many times we keep these ideas like near and dear to our heart and fear that, oh, if I tell you, you're going to take it. But the reality of it is, it's your idea. You know, like someone could try to duplicate it, but it won't ever be your idea because they don't know exactly how you're going to execute it.
Right. I mean, that's so important. I didn't know that was, I guess, his reason why he started the network. But it's so important because our narrative is like exactly what Gary thought. Like on TV, the news, I'm like, where do y'all get these people?
Yeah, where do you find them?
Do y'all sit in the room and say, we're going to pick the worst?
Yeah, or do you go out and recruit them? Do you like pay them to like are they like really professionals, but you pay them to behave this way? Like, it's almost unreal, right?
Because I be in these streets and I ain't never had no newspaper. And I know, like you said, I know me and my friends, I know the listeners on this show.
Right.
I survey them, educated, informed, you know, if you want to talk about degrees, income, or whatever, and we ain't on the news, right?
No.
And I think it's just recently our stories getting out there more and more through, you know, different shows and stuff like that. Netflix.
Totally.
But yeah, it's interesting. And even on podcasting, once again, white male dominated industry. I know when I started in 2014 or 2015, I was a bit hesitant because I was just doing my research and I was scrolling on Apple and I was like, where are the Black podcasts? Where are the Black business podcasts? Because a lot of our shows were based off of pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just
like, the box that they put us in.
Yeah.
And we gotta fight to change that narrative. I mean, we're already 100 years behind. We don't have to, we can play catch up, but we got to be strategic in how we do this. And jumping out of a box that somebody might have put on us is one of the ways for us to do it. Why can't we talk about small business? Yeah, we already know we own hip hop and pop culture. That's a done deal. That's a given. But why can't we shock them with shows about beauty? Why can't we shock them with shows about Money Factor? On the Sphere Network, we have Money Factor with two people who look just like us talk about how to get your money right. If you're a small business person or even you're just an individual, the benefits of investing in vehicles outside of just your 401k.
Right.
Like, how do you really truly create generational wealth? That's how we play catch up.
Yeah.
It's not doing what we've been doing for the past 100+ years. Is we gotta change the narrative on this, but it takes all of us to do it.
It really does. So can you be pro-Black and diverse at the same time?
I think you can. I think you can be whatever you want to be. You know why? Because you said so. Like, I can be anything I say because I believe it, and that's all that counts. Because I said so. It's what's so. Right? And, you know, doing some research and being involved in different diverse thought groups. Growing up, I went to a Catholic school for predominantly all my education. So my mom, thank God, exposed me to a lot of people who didn't come from where I come from. Okay. I mean, I had to get bused. My grandfather drove me across town to go to these schools. And one of the things, even when I got to college, I'm riding around in my Hyundai Accent where my teammates ride around in the BMW.
Oh, wow.
It's just different worlds.
Yeah.
But what I realized is that the others, the majorities, they manifest what they want because they said so.
That's true.
It's strictly because it's what's so because they said so. And we're like, oh, okay. But the moment someone challenged us, we're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. Because we've been conditioned over the past 100 years that no, you shouldn't be thinking like that. No, you should live paycheck to paycheck. No, you shouldn't speak up in a room when no one looks like you and challenge their thoughts because that's not good for you because you're going to lose that good white folk paying job that have benefits. No.
And be grateful for that job.
No, they should be grateful to have me because I said so. And I think whenever we get passionate about that, and like I'm like ready to go right now. Like I feel like I'm so fired up. Like you might need to contain me a little bit. Like we gotta get that energy and have that vibration like running rampant through our communities. And we gotta start with the little ones.
Yeah. Because
we're raising them to be just like us. When are we gonna shift their thinking to be like, no, we already had the first Black president. Like, come on, like we can really do this thing. And he got in the office with some untraditional practices. Not bad. I mean, good practices like crowdfunding, like community. Like he was hitting us on the text. I felt like during his campaign every other day. Hey, what about $1 donation a day? Hey, what about a $5 donation a day? But it worked. He almost, I don't quote me on this, but I almost feel like he almost out campaigned his components by doing it like that. He didn't go out and say, let me go and tap on the shoulder 3 billionaires to donate to my campaign. He collectively went to all of us and said, yo, help me out. Give me $1.
Yeah.
Give me
$5. Okay. What's $1?
Because we believed in him. So if we can get that same type of belief system, like throughout, not people who are just people in our communities, regionally, locally, nationally, then that's where we can really see some change happen.
When did you develop your belief system?
Man, I would say it was developed at a very young age. Very, very young age. I've always been a believer. I was raised in a Catholic household. Mm-hmm. My grandfather said his rosaries twice a day. Mm-hmm. We went to church every Sunday. But I started to live in it. I started to live in it, and it's a constant dwelling, right? I live there because I know I have to be connected to the source. Now, I won't describe myself as religious. I'm spiritual because I do have a belief system that there is a higher power. I do believe that there's a source. There is God. Is God a man or a woman? I don't know, but I do know it's a source. And I do know that he protects me, and he guides me, and he leads me, and he loves me so much. And I know he wants the best for me. And that belief system alone is enough for me just to continue to manifest, to materialize what I want to happen, and to have faith that it's going to happen. I might get frustrated because it's not happening when I want it to, but I do believe in my heart it's going to happen. Yeah. It might be when I'm 80, but it's going to happen. Hopefully I still have my sound mind. I'm driving myself around. I have teeth. And
driving at 80?
Why not? Me and my grandpa was still driving. He passed at like 83, 84. He still was on the road. I didn't want to ride with him, but he still was on the road.
Oh my God. I love it though. I love that, living in your belief system.
Yeah. Because it's one thing to have it inside of you. Yeah. So many people have so much, their family poured so much into them and they've forgotten about it. Like they're not living it. It's just there. It's just wasting away. It goes back to what you said on the show. They're dying dead. But they will die. They won't die dead because they're not going to die empty because
they're keeping everything.
They're keeping everything. And it's almost a selfish way of living because what you have inside of you can be the game changer for the entire world. Who knows? You know, we dreaming big, right? These big, hairy, audacious goals. I mean, don't be selfish, bro. Don't be selfish, sis. Like, share this. We need it. You might cure cancer. You might cure ALS. Like, who knows? Got to get it out. Got to live in it. It's all about living in our destiny, our designed destiny for what we were created to do. And there's so many people that die with so much stuff inside of them. And like, if we can visually like just cut them open and open it up and be like, oh my God, like we will find so many treasures.
You know, I think everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a message, but it takes so much for it to come out, to break through. And I mean, a lot of it is the mindset. A lot of it is the belief system. Like I'm struggling with that. You know, there's a book I've been writing off and on for the past 4 years that if and when it comes out, it'll be a memoir. But it's interesting. It's just interesting.
But you know what's even more interesting? And I think you and I had this conversation off, like we weren't filming or anything. It's like, it's important to be surrounded by people who will tell you like exactly what's what.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going through this right now. I'm feeling some kind of way. Or, hey, I'm depressed. It's the holidays. I lost my mom and I'm never really good around this time. Or, hey, this entrepreneur thing is really tough.
It's real.
Like, it's really real. Yeah. Like, as much as I plan to save my money, like these expenses keep coming up. And, you know, I didn't know about these services and now I'm overwhelmed. Like, just really being able to talk it out with somebody. Yeah. Like, if we could put a price tag on that, like, it would be worth more than our weight in gold. Because you just can't pay for that because everyone's caught up in being the facade of, oh, life is grand. Well, life is grand, but we're still going to struggle.
That is true. Because I know I've had friends, I'm like, they just don't understand. They just don't understand.
Man.
And then even now with my therapist, where I think things are good, people are like, well, why are you seeing your therapist when everything's okay? And the thing is, I know what it's like when I don't see my therapist.
Like, and that's listen, that's the mindset, like the mindset that we have to figure out is our thinking is so behind and it's so not proactive and it's not constructive to our future selves. That's why we find ourselves stuck. Like we're always going to be stuck because our thinking is stuck until we can like rattle our brain and like hit the reset buttons. Like, you got to be thinking for your future self. Yeah. And like, when you said that, first of all, I believe in therapy. I've been in therapy, on and off since my mother passed away, dealing with that and dealing with the other things in life. But I wouldn't be here sitting talking to you today if I didn't go.
Yeah.
I would still be in my dark, sunken place. Yeah. I could have been in Get Out because I was in that sunken place for a year. It was dark and I didn't care about life. I just wanted to sit on my couch and keep eating chicken wings and watch TV. Yeah. Judge Judy was my jam. And I gained 50 pounds and I was dying slowly. And then finally one day, my sister called me up and shifted my thinking and said, this is not what she would want you to be doing right now. So it goes back to that diverse thought. Like, we got to have, like, who is your shifter? Who's the person that's like shaking you? It could be your therapist, could be your mom. It could be a colleague, it could be anybody. But we need people like that in our lives to change our thinking. Because if you listen to that friend that gave you that advice, imagine where you'll be. We don't even want to talk about it, right?
Yeah, no, that's real. God, we discussed so much.
So much good stuff.
So much. I just respect your hustle.
Ditto.
I admire your hustle. I'm glad we're friends now.
Totally.
Because people were telling me about you, well, okay, whatever.
That's how I go.
Like, people like, oh, you don't know her? I'm like, no, I don't. Oh, she cool. You need to know her. And when am I going to say that? Like, oh, thank you. All right, cool. But it happened organically, so
and that's how it's supposed to, right?
I appreciate it.
Shout out to Tiffany, man. Tiffany Williams, Twice Media, because she was the one.
I got a shout out to Daryl James.
And DJ, that's right.
I was with him yesterday. We had breakfast yesterday.
DJ, man. I need to reach out to him. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah.
If he would stay off the golf course. I mean, dang, DJ. I guess I'm going to have to come with you. I'll be your caddy, I guess.
I had to clown him. None of this is going to be deleted. I had to clown him because, he was in Hawaii last week with the family on the golf course. And I was like, I see you with your tan.
He was all glistening and whatnot.
That Hawaiian glow.
Come on, DJ.
On the golf course. So, no, but yeah, I think those were the two main people that were telling me about you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm happy we were able to make it happen.
Yeah, good times, man. I look forward to following your success. Like,
same here.
Yeah, I see it. I'm gonna be on your coattails when you and the wifey and the kids in the hut. On the island.
Hey, like, feet up, sipping coffee,
playing with the kids.
I got like a breezy linen, like ugly print shirt on. Probably got like peacocks and penguins on it. I don't know. And I got like only 2 buttons buttoned, like my chest is out. Yeah, man. Like, good times.
So how can people get in touch with you and how do you define success?
So let's tackle success.
Okay.
Success is really living out your biggest, wildest dreams. And that can manifest in so many different ways, and I think people think success is like down the road or it's in the future, it's in a realm of, I got to like really work my butt off to get it. I feel like we're successful every single day, but we're not present enough to identify those successes. And it's not a matter of placing a label on it. People are like, well, that's a small success. Oh, it's still a success.
Yeah.
It's a big success. Well, it's still a success. Like, a success is a success.
Yeah.
Me being able to get out a presentation deck today, that's a success. And I'm going to celebrate it.
Yeah.
Me being able to go on a date night with my wife, that's a success. Me being able to come in and be honored to be on this show, that's a success. Like, I feel like we categorize success like it's got to be these large, like, I'm not successful until I'm on Oprah.
Yeah.
I'm not successful until I do a TED Talk. Well, you really are putting some limitations on your success. And to really sum it up, this just got me. To sum it up, success equals to infinite possibilities. Because infinite possibility is like, it's a possibility. It keeps going and going and going. It's like going past the moon. It's going past all the planets. It's beyond your wildest dreams. Like, some of these possibilities we can't even think of.
Yeah.
Because it's bigger than what we can. It's bigger than what we can even like dream.
Yeah.
It's bigger than big. Yeah. All right, where they can grab me, you can follow me. You can follow me on the gram, on the book. I'm also on LinkedIn at KLG Speaks. On the personal side, you can grab me at Khaliah Guillory. That's KHALIAHGUILLORY. And then for my YouTubers out there, you can catch me at KLG Speaks TV. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
I got one more question.
Yes.
When's your book coming out?
Man, it's coming.
Oh, you're working on it?
I'm working on it, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's legit.
You can't say all this and not have a book.
It is in production.
All right. That's what I want to hear. Hey, everyone, remember, I believe in you, and a personal connection leads to an influential network. Thanks for networking with Michelle.